What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let's talk Tottenham, and today we will be ranking every first team player from terrible to world class. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rank all these Tottenham players. You tell me in the comments, where did I get it right? Where did I get it wrong? I don't even know where to start. I feel like, should we start with keepers? Should we just start in the top left? Should we start with the world class players and move our way down? I feel like we're just going to start in the top left corner and we're going to go from there. So it starts with Giovanni Lo Celso. Now, when I think of Giovanni, he's definitely not terrible and he's definitely not bad. He's definitely not world class, in my opinion. This is harder than I thought. Right out the gates, I know that this is going to be contentious. Hit that like button if you like how uncomfortable all this contentiousness is making me feel. All right, Giovanni Lo Celso, I'm just saying it. I'm going to put him at normal. I don't think he's good. When I think of, like, I don't know, maybe it's the ranking system, but I look at world class, he's not world class. Good means like just below world class, and I just don't see it. At least he hasn't shown it to me so far this season. He's had moments where I've really enjoyed watching him, but all right, Sergio Reguilon. I feel like Reguilon, he started out looking like fire, and it's partly because he runs so fast, but he makes silly mistakes. And I think he actually depends on his speed so that when he makes those mistakes, he just can run back and track back. It's no big deal. But the problem is, we're talking about being world class. We're talking about being a good player. So when I think of Sergio Reguilon, I got to do another normal. He's just normal for me. All right, next up, we are looking at none other than Tanguy Ndombele. Now, Tanguy got off to a rough start in his first year at Spurs. Of course, the manager he had hoped to be playing for got sacked, and then he got under Jose Mourinho, and Jose pretty much iced him out of the squad. But this guy's second year has been incredible. I'm not sure I could say he's world class yet. I just don't think he's proven himself long enough. But I'm going to take Tanguy, and I'm going to put him right up here in good. This guy, you got 3, you got 4 on him. He'll still find a way through. He's definitely good. So close to being that world class. Next up, we've got one of our own in Harry Winks. And you all know that he has that world class smile. But the question is not about his smile. It's about his play. It's so tough because he's definitely not world class. He's definitely not in the good category, at least in my opinion. So that puts him in normal and bad. And I don't want to say he's bad. So I'm going to have to put Harry Winks in the normal category. Next up, we've got Stevie B. Now, you guys know I've got Stevie B. Like, there's a place in my heart for Stevie B. He's got that awesome goal celebration, right? But we're not talking about goal celebrations. We're talking about how good of a player is he. Now, I think Stevie B is probably going to be a little high on my chart, a little lower on yours, potentially. Genty, I'm looking at you. So here's what I've got. I've got Stevie B coming in at normal. I think I'm going to say normal, and there's so many normies in here. All right, the normal category is getting filled up, but I got to be honest. If I think they're normal, they're normal. So the next person we're going to talk about is Paulo Gazzaniga. He's like third in line now when it comes to our keepers. I would say Paulo Gazzaniga is normal as well. Next up, the man, the myth, the legend, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. I know we only got him for $3 million when you consider Kyle Walker-Peters going the other way. This guy has played every minute of every game. He is a tank, and he does so much for our midfield. This guy is definitely not going in the normal category. Højbjerg goes to good. Next up, Danny Rose. Did you forget about him? I hope you didn't. So Danny hasn't played a minute. He has not even registered for any of our first team matches, either in Europa or in the Premier League. Had you asked me this question 2, even 3 years ago, he would definitely not have been where he is today. Danny Rose is my first bad. I feel bad saying it because I know where he's been. Gosh, I just don't think he's at where he was, and I really hope that he finds a place to go to in January. Hugo, for me, is easily world class. You win a World Cup and you're the captain of the team that wins it. It's hard to say he's not world class. Japhet Tanganga. The kid pulls on the heartstrings. It's such a bummer that he's had so many injuries. He's had moments where it just really wows you. I also don't think I've seen enough of him to say if he's really good above normal. So I'm going to say he's normal for now. Matt Doherty. He spent a lot of time at Wolves, and I had a lot of hopes for him, but I feel like he's pretty normal too. Carlos Vinicius, I like what I've seen so far, but I'm not sure I've seen enough of him in the Premier League, and so I'm going to have to say he's normal as well. Gosh, there's a lot more players than I thought there was going to be. I'm going to try to speed up some of this video. All right, Lucas Moura, a hat trick to get us to the Champions League final. I think he is good on his day. but he is also very normal. Harry Kane, this is not even a question. The guy is so world class, everyone has to try to make him sound like he's not world class. Son Heung-min, also world class, not even a debate for me. Joe Hart, now here's a question. Is he good, or is he normal, or is he bad? I personally think he's normal. I think it's a crapshoot between Paulo Gazzaniga and Joe Hart, and the only reason why I think Joe Hart is ahead of him for Jose Mourinho is the leadership and the shouting that Joe Hart brings. Gareth Bale. I was so excited for Gareth Bale. Recently, though, he has scored a goal in the Europa, in the League Cup, and in the Premier League, and he's the first to do it. He's certainly a world-class player in the sense that you don't win all those cups and do all the things that he did in the finals and not be a world-class player. But recently, he hasn't been playing at that level. Honestly, he hasn't even been playing at the good level, personally. I'm going to have to put him in the normal section. There's so many normals. Next up is Gentle Ben, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree, but I'm going to put Gentle Ben at good. I think he is good. He's someone who is consistent. It's so important to have somebody be consistent, especially in those left back and right back positions. I know he doesn't have the pace. I know he makes probably 2 or 3 mistakes, and one of them always seems, or 2 of them always seem to lead to a goal during the season. But for his position, he's definitely a good player.
That's my opinion!
Davinson Sanchez. Last season, I would have said normal. This season, I have to say bad. He's just made some really poor decisions, and I know it's partly because of his confidence, but he needs to make that next step up. He was one of our record signings, and I hope he comes through. I hope we don't have to sell him. Joe Rodon, I feel like I haven't seen enough of him to really say. I almost feel bad putting Jack Clark in bad. I'm going to take him off. Eric Dyer. I'm going to say Eric Dyer is good. You know, early on in the season, I would have probably said not good, but I think he was still making that transition from working under Pochettino and being in that, defensive midfield kind of role to transitioning back to being a center back. Him and Toby right now, they're strong. I feel like they're really good together, and I actually feel most confident when he and Toby are our center backs. Eric Lamela, man, does this guy get a lot of injuries. I think if he could keep healthy, he would be good, but I'm going to have to say that he's normal. Yes, he dribbles a lot, and sometimes he loses the ball, but he does so much in terms of the chippiness, in terms of just getting good, smart fouls, getting under people's skin. I really like him a lot, but he can't really be good if he's not always playing. Toby. I think Toby's good. I don't think he's world class. He's definitely not normal. It's an easy choice to say good for me. Where would you put Toby? Brandon Austin. We haven't really seen much of him. I'm going to keep him down. And now that I'm looking at Alfie Whiteman, I think I'm going to take him and put him back down too. Dele. Ooh. I want to say he's good. I do. I feel like he is good, but what's going on with Dele? He's right on the line between normal and good, and only because he's really fallen off this season, and I would say even last season he was really streaky. Before that, he was amazing. He was definitely good. I'm putting Dele with the normsies. Moussa Sissoko. Man, Moussa Sissoko under Pochettino, not in his first year, after he came good under Pochettino. Who needs Bale when you've got Sissoko? Now we've got both, but I think Moussa is just normal. And I don't know if it's the system that Jose's playing these guys in, but some guys that used to be good are just looking normal to me this season. Jedson Fernandez. I tweeted about this the other day because he might be going back to Benfica. I feel like he's actually a pretty decent player. He's got amazing foot skills, but I just don't know where he plays. I don't think he knows where he plays, and Jose doesn't know where to play him. So I'm going to have to put him in the bad category simply because he doesn't have a position. Once he finds his role, he'll easily be normal. And once he gets some more experience, I think he'll come good. Last, Serge Aurier. We all think it. He has his moments.
And Serge, I am afraid of you as a marker because you are capable of doing a penalty with VAR. So I'm telling you already that I am afraid of you.
And this season, he's been so great. And I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to say he's good because he's turned it on. Since Doherty has arrived, he has really shown that he can mentally be focused. All right, so we got to the end of this, and I don't have any players in the terrible. Am I too kind? I also have a lot of people in normal. Is that true? I just feel like so many of our guys, they're good enough right now. Maybe another way of thinking about this for me is that any player that's good or world class, I don't think you need to change out of our starting 11. But when it comes to the people that are normal, they have their day, but I would feel more confident if they could play consistently. And if I could find someone who's consistent at their level or better at their level, I would take that person. So that's my tier list. Who did I get wrong? Who would you put higher? Who would you put lower? If you know anything about these young kids, where you put them in world class, good, normal, bad, or terrible, I would love to hear that as well. I'm just not someone who knows too much about our U23 team or below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll put a link in the description if you you want to make a tier list for yourself. I'll also have a playlist right here so you can watch Let's Talk Tottenham together. It's a weekly show on Mondays, 1:30 Eastern, 6:30 GMT, where people can get involved in the comments. It's a live show. I love doing it. It's way fun. And also, please subscribe and hit that like button if you like this content. And as ever, it was great talking with you.